Hello, I love fiber optics. Today I'm going to have a do-it-yourself fiber optic ball made with UV lights. So I started off with these fiber optic um, s- spool of plastic fiber optics that some of them were 2 millimeter and some of them were 0.75. And then I cut them into little pieces about a half inch to about 2.5 inches long. So I had a nice variety of pieces to work with. Now, I usually do a lot of stained glass work, but you really can't solder plastic because, yeah, it'll melt. So this whole project is done with UV resin. So I put the little pieces of fiber optics into different arcs and circles and use the liquid UV resin because you can cure it under a UV light like you use for like nail polish, and it's really quick to do. So you can see that I put them in these different shapes and then put UV resin on top of it and then put it into my little UV light. Now you can also get a flashlight, like a UV flashlight. That'll cure UV resin also. See, I'm putting them in place. I'm kind of tapping them with tweezers so I get them where I want to. And then I'm putting them under a UV light. And it just takes a half a minute to a minute to do a bunch. And then I would peel those off and stick those with more UV resin onto, this is the silicone ball that you could use for like making molds and stuff, but I'm using the outside of it as a circle to build off of. So I'm making lots of these little arcs and then sticking them on my ball. See, I'm just pouring some UV resin right there into a space, and then I'm just going to stab in some more UV, little arc of my little fiber optics. And I wanted to kind of fill this whole star, this whole ball up with these little pieces of fiber optics so that I'd get this wonderful blast of light. And the pictures I took don't even do it justice. It's just so pretty when it was lit, when I finished it. So any spots that were not completely filled with the fiber optics, I would put more resin in and then stick more of the little things that I cut out. And then I would put the whole ball underneath my light. The whole thing when it was done was probably about 4 inches in diameter. It's not that big. You don't want to really make one really big because it takes a lot of little pieces of fiber optics just to do this size. So, it's up to you what size you want to make, but as you can see how big it is, it's kind of like varies depending on where you count it. So right now I'm pulling out the mold and you just kind of like put it in a twist and just kind of plop it out. You can reuse these silicone molds over and over again. They're great for using with stained glass work, which I use them for usually, or the UV resin. Now I took this and I bought some little fairy lights on a string. These were, I think, 300 in this bunch, but there's a whole lot of lights. I couldn't even put them all inside my ball, so I'll have to like string them across my room, as you can see, and maybe go into another thing that I make. But this is my ball when it was done, and I had it, the fairy lights have different colors, so you can program them, or like right now they're just flashing one color to another, but they're really, really pretty. It really like shined beautifully. Well, thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.